Well, Mondays are usually the most boring days starting the week. However, as always, I intend to keep your Mondays fun and exciting. So today we have an entire episode all about ChocoPro. Now there were some events that took place, but they haven't not been uploaded on their YouTube channel. So we're gonna focus on number 455, 456, and 457. Some matches are preliminary matches for title matches and grudges, that sort of thing. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do. However, as you may or may not have been recalling, if you guys are follow ChocoPro, I finally discovered who is the lady who's been in fact opening the show, giving the fans the lowdown, who's been giving the info and sort of. It turns out that she is the general manager, and I learned a little bit about her. She's a former wrestler who actually was trained under Ami Sakura, who pointed her as the general manager of ChocoPro. So we will be talking a little bit about her and find out why she plays an important role in ChocoPro. But to cap up our episode, as always, we will be talking about it on our news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the jibber jabbers. Let's get on to business. So, as I mentioned, the unknown woman that was been opening the show, turns out that she is the general manager of ChocoPro. So, let's talk a little bit about her. Alright, our general manager of ChocoPro, her name is Aoi Kizuki. It turns out that she is a former pro wrestler who in fact learned under the current founder of ChocoPro, then later known as Got to Move at the time, Ami Sakura. So basically that's what we do know. So this is the basics about her. Aoi is in fact was born on March 26 in 1989. She's only 36 years old, and she's from Tokyo, Japan. Basically, she wrestled between her debut was on May 1st, 2005, but she retired in October 7th, 2018. So basically, many of you may ask what she's been doing the entire time. Well, I don't know since then, but we do know from what we learned that she has wrestled in the independent circuits around the same time, from her time when she debuted all the way to 2018. However, she has appeared in American promotions such as Shimmer Women's Wrestling Athletes, which, of course, many of people who follow that promotion, you know what that is. It features wrestlers like Chelsea Green, Britt Baker, Dakota Kai, those places. She has wrestled with Ice Ribbon between 2006 and 2018. She wrestled with JWP, which is Yoshi Peruso, from 2006 to 2017. Oz Academy 2015 to 2018. Pro Wrestling Wave 2016 to 2018. Pure J, 1 year between 2017 and 2018, and that's pretty much it. Nothing about her personal life, but it was revealed later on in October of 2019 by Hikaru Shida. It was revealed that AI Kizuki got married, so it's still not clear about her personal life, but as you know, Japanese people like to keep that private. But however, it was later foretold that she has been appearing in ChocoPro just as a helper, but later was appointed as the general manager to ChocoPro. Now it's still unclear why Emi Sakura decided to appoint her, but I have to say she is doing a fantastic job. So if anybody who's been asking who she is, now you know. So we don't have to worry too much who this woman is, but now I put her name in my notes. So let's get started with our very first review, and this one is, of course, ChocoPro number 455. Okay, ChocoPro number 455. This took place in Ichigaya Square on June 14th of this year. As always, we have the opening with the general manager, AI Kizuki, as always, of course, giving the greetings and the info of the entire show's matches and whatnot. So, as you know, now, as I mentioned, we have the name to the face, so let's get started with our first match. Our first match we have, of course, is Hiroyi Yawada taking on Soy. Now, it's interesting that those two are facing off. But however, we've seen Soy how much she has grown. Same thing with Yawada, but she's not there yet. But Soy was able to pick up a pretty good victory when she applied a single leg crab hold, which of course has been her main weapon in submission. So it was pretty much effective for her to give herself a pretty good win in this match. In our second match, we have a trios action. We have Miya Yatsuba, Tokiko Kiyohara, and Balinaki taking on Kaho Hiromi. She teams up with the Egg Tarts, Chiko Shikawa and Hagane Shino. Now, of course, many of you may think in some capacity because of this match, Kaho will be the most likely weakest link in this entire match. I mean, normally that's always been the case. But however, it was in fact Hagane who picked up the win when he applied a submission onto Miya Tsuba, and just like that, Miya had no choice but to tap. Now, our next match, we have Sawadi Kamen teaming up with Sayaka Obihira, or as we call her, Obi. They take on one half of the tag team champions, Sayaka, and of course our current super agent champion, Mei Shruga. Now, this is part of a preliminary match between both Mei Shruga and Obi herself, because as you all know, recently it was Obi who pinned Mei Shruga for an opportunity of this match. Now, this match between these two will take place, of course, on number 458. So hopefully we get the chance to see it. It has not been uploaded on their YouTube channel yet, but the match itself, you can consider it was a preliminary. However, this match turned a very interesting turn. It was Sawadi Kamen that picked up the win onto Sayaka, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, as you all know, I mentioned this before, Sayaka is one half of the Asian Dream Tag Team Champions, So most likely she could, Sawadi could cash in an opportunity for these tag belts. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens from here. Now for our Junkin tournament, I wasn't too sure where it was going to go, but however, excuse me. As you know, Sayaka Obihiro picked up the win on her mat on the main event with Sawadi Kamen. Well, she picked up another win in the Jokin tournament when she defeated, of course, Miya Yatsuba, who is the runner-up. So, Obi picked up the win, and she gets the piece of chocolate. So we'll see how things will roll from there. But as of right now, we are officially done with ChocoPro number 455. Let's move on with number 456. Alright, ChocoPro number 456. Back in Ichigaya Square. This took place on the 21st of June. And of course, as always, we have the general manager, AI Kizuki, opening up, giving the info and the greetings to the fan base. So let's get started with our first match. Our first match, we have a bit of a singles action. We have in a non-title match, we have Hiroi Iwata taking on our current Super Agent champion, Mei Suruga. Now, if by any means miracle Hiroi would have picked up the win, she could get a shot of the Super Agent Championship, which is something I'm sure she will delight me having an opportunity. But however, when it comes to Mei Suruga, as you all know, her experience and not to mention her ways of acting like a dirty wrestler, well, that kind of plays out well. But she was able to walk away with the win when she applied a submission, and just like that, you gave up and it was over. Mei Suruga walked away with the win. Now, our next match, we have a very interesting tag team match. We have Shin Suzuki and Balinaki teaming up. Now, it's unusual because these two guys, well, let's just say they're rivals, and now they're teaming up. But their opponents is none other than Miya Yatsuba and Sayaka. Now, of course, Sayaka being one half of the tag team champions, that could lead to someone making an opportunity for a shot of the tag team titles, which obviously would be possible. But however, it was Balinaki who picked up the win when he applied a diving body press pinfall onto Miya Yatsuba, and just like that, it was over. I'm sure many people would have thought that it would have been a great opportunity to pin Sayaka, but in this case, it did not. Our next match, our main event, was featuring Sawadi Kamen versus Chi Koshikawa. Now, Sawadi Kamen, sometimes he likes to bend a little bit of the rules, but she, as you know, known as Too Much Energy, well, that's always been part of her trademark, and that allowed her to, of course, pick up a win by pinfall on Sawadi, and just like that, it was over. However, during the post match, our general manager came out because apparently Sawadi has determined that he wants to have an opportunity for the Agent Dream Tag Team belts. But of course, the GM has revealed that there's another person that will take it. Apparently, Chiko Shikawa said that she wants to have an opportunity of those belts, teaming up with Chris Brooks. As you know, Chris Brooks normally will team up with Masahiro Takanashi, but he's out on injury. So apparently there was going to be a number one contendership on number 458 at the Tokyo Square in Itabashi. Hopefully that could be the leading it. So that is the final decision that, of course, the general manager Kizuki has made. Now for our Junkin tournament. Our Junkin tournament, well, very interesting. Now, many of you may not know this. Our general manager participates in the Junkin tournament. So if you probably wondering, well, she won, of course, the Jonkin tournament and the piece of chocolate. Just like that, it was over. So I enjoyed it myself, but it was a pretty good show. So as of right now, we are officially done with this one. Let's move on with our last review, featuring, of course, ChocoPro number 457. Okay, final review of our ChocoPro series. So we got number 457 in Inchigaya Square on June 22nd of this year. Now, as always, we have our general manager opening up the show, giving the lowdown and the greetings to the fan base as always. Now let's jump into our first match. We have tag team action. We have Hiroyi Yawada teaming up with Too Much Energy Chiko Shikawa. They take on Sawadi Kamen and Hagane Shino. Now keep in mind, folks, as you know, Chi will be in fact participating in a number one contendership for the Agent Dream Tag Team belts with Chris Brooks. But however, she has to go through Sawadi Kamen, which is very interesting to see. Now, of course, you got to remember Chiko Shikawa is also on the opposite side of her tag partner from her tag partner Hagane Shino. And of course, she did not hold back. But however, this match ended with Sawadi applying a diving body press onto Hiroyi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next match, we have singles action. We have Kaho Hiromi taking on Tokiko Kiyohara. Now, of course, Kaho is a very childish little girl. You know, she is a very playful little girl with a big heart, and she will do whatever it takes to find a way to pick up the win. But when it comes to Tokiko, she is someone you don't want to mess with. However, she used an interesting way to pick up the win. She used a bear hug. Yes, folks, of all things, a bear hug in order for her to tap out. I never expected someone to use a bear hug on poor little Kaho, but it was effective in order to pick up the win by Tokiko. But that was pretty much it. Now, our main event, we have Soy teaming up with Sayaka Obihiro, also known as Obi. They take on the Best Bros, Balian Aki and Mei Suruga. But many of you know this is a preliminary match. As you all know, Mei Suruga, who is our current Super Agent champion, will defend her championship against Obi, which is something, of course, that we are expecting. But the real question many of us would ask, who will in fact walk away with the win? I wasn't too sure. However, there was a moment where we did see the Best Bros were in the mix of applying the Dolphin Press onto Soy, but Obi was able to divert that no matter what. But however, this match ended with, of course, I'm not sure what Aki did, but it seems like he used a move that only Miyatsu has been known as, the Miya Punch. But it was effective. It put her down completely and giving him 1, 2, 3. It was over. Now for our Junkin tournament, we actually have a winner for this one, and this one is Hiro Yawada, with the runner-up being Tokiko Kiyohara. So you guys can guess how that rolled up. I have to say I had a little fun with these events, but I'll explain more about this near the end. But at the moment, let's finish up our episode with some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. So let's begin as always with some upcoming events. As always, we have GCW in one swoop. So as you know, on the 4th of July, they have their annual Backyard Wrestling 7 at an undisclosed location on the 4th of July. But an interesting match has been announced. We have Pizza Cat, who originally was portrayed by none other than Shotzi Blackheart, has now come back. However, the opponent is none other than Pizza Cat Jr., who is in fact portrayed by Billy Starks. So we have the battle of the Pizza Cats. So let's see how that rolls up. And then the following day, they make their way to Hartford, Connecticut for the Top Play. They announced Alec Price will team up with Jordan Oliver and Marcus Mathers to take on Miyu Yamashita, Billy Starks, and Mega Bang. So it's the battle of the boys versus the girls. And I think that's going to be fun. Bloodsport at the Rutherford, New Jersey. They'll take place on the 2nd of August. They announced that Nick Camarado will be participating, so that's pretty cool. Now, as you know, Pro Wrestling Yoshi Promotion Pro Wrestling Wave has begun their latest tournament, Catch the Wave, which of course will give the wrestler an opportunity to challenge for the Regina the Wave Championship, which currently is in the possession of Saya Kamitani. So, yeah, however, one of the particular matches from one of their blocks called the Uranus block, there's a bit of a showdown between two members of La Mi Vida Loca from Stardom, which is Izuki Aoki, who is a freelancer, but however, we got the rookie Akira Kurigani participating, so that's pretty much what we do know. Now, this Sunday, as you know, Stardom will be in Corkin Hall. Uh, there's been the name of the card. The card has been announced. What's going to be participating, but this will be, of course, Shuri's final match before her hiatus. So this is what we do know. Momokoko will be in action to take on Kikyo Furuzawa. Ami Sori, Lady C, and Kyoka Kotatsu will take on Suzuki, Izuki Aoki, and Bozilla. Then we have Saki Kashima, Yuna Mizumori, Aya Sakura, Sayakara, and Yuria Him will take on Azuki, Koguma, Waka Tsukiyama, Hanako, and Rihanna. So that's going to be fun. Then we have Mei Sira taking on Emma Maishima. Then we have Natsupoi Saori Anu teaming up with, of course, Hanan and Saya Ida to take on Sei Kamitani, Natsuko Tora, Momo Watanabe, and Ruka. Then we have Shuri taking on Rana Yagami. Then we have the Future Championship. Hina will defend it against Akira Kurigani. And then finally, we have the Artist Championships. Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki from Neo Genesis will defend it against Hate members Konami, Rina, and what's her name? And Fukigen Death. So that continuing on. AAA has announced for their upcoming event, Verano del Scandalo, or in translation known as Summer of Scandal, that there's going to be an interesting mixed tag team match. We have Mr. Iguana who will team up with La Hydra. Apparently, they will take on, of course, the director of Authority from TNA, Santino Marella, and of course, Lola Vice from WWE. So that's an interesting match that's been announced. Jersey Championship Wrestling with their upcoming event on the 3rd of August at the Mecca. High noon, they announced for the WXW Unified World Championship will be defended. Juan Manders will defend his title against his tag partner, Thomas Shire. Finally, as you know, I mentioned House of Glory will be doing a show in Philadelphia. The date has been announced, but the venue has not yet been announced yet. The date will be on September 4th in Philadelphia, so that's going to be interesting. But I'll keep you guys apprised where the venue will be at. So stay tuned for that. Now on to our developments. Yoshi Promotion Diana, or better known as Women's World Pro Wrestling Diana, has announced that one of their talents, Yuma Makoto, announced that she'll be leaving the promotion and retiring effective on June 30th. Now, this was the reason this is happening was due to the fact that she was repeating acts of disloyalty towards the company, and of course, including refusal to comply with the directions. Now, I don't mind, of course, Diana taking these measures. It's understandable. If you're going to be working with the company, please play by the rules. If you can't do that, then take a hike. It's now been confirmed by from what Scott Edwards that Shuri is going to take a hiatus after, of course, this coming Sunday. Apparently, she'll be missing out on the 5-star Grand Prix, so it's going to be a little weird to see her not participating. But yes. We want to give congratulations to Mike Bennett and his wife, Maria Kennellis Bennett. They announced that they are expecting their 3rd child. So it's going to be a bit of a handful for them. Now they're going to have 3 kids. So congratulations, guys. Then we have, of course, Santino Marella has made an announcement. As you all know, recently this past Thursday, Mike Santana said that he wants to participate in the TNA World Title in Slammiversary. Well, Santino has announced it's gonna happen, so I can't wait to see what's gonna go. And then finally, as you all know, Nao Kakuta has been involved in wrestling, but not as a professional wrestler, but just participating as a ref. But now she was announced that she'll be participating as a commentator in the Yoshiko Hasegawa graduation show on the 8th of July in Shinjuku Face. So it's great to hear that she's participating in wrestling as a commentator or, of course, a ref. But match. I guess many of us miss it, but I think that's pretty much it what we have. So until then, let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you know, we have NXT. We're building up all the way to Evolution and all that. Now, I haven't decided yet if there's going to be other events. We'll see what happens. Now, I'm behind on Tokyo Shoku Wrestling, Mighty Gold, and a few others, so I'm going to try the best of my ability to catch up. So, we'll see what happens. And I've made a judgment call on one particular event. As you know, there is the Noah shows known as Magic Monday or Monday Magic, so I will do those along with Wrestle Magic. So stay tuned for that. And if any other things, that's pretty much it. So until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I'm gonna bid all of you adieu. So goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.